EP7 of Carrots and Cosmos. A bit later on I'll be showing you some potato experiments and giving you a general tour around my garden, seeing how things are getting on. But first let's go over to Gemma and see how she's getting on.
First day of spring, yippee! So I'm now off to the allotment to go and plant some perennials. I'll still grow some from seed, but I want some this year, so I've bought some from plants. Yeah, so I'm going to go get planting. Last week I went on a allotment workshop and I asked them what to do about the couch grass, and they told me to soak it in water for 2 weeks and that should kill it off, and then you can put it on your compost. So that's what I'm doing. We'll see how that works out. Next, these foxgloves are going to go in front of my compost heap. Should make it quite pretty. Quick question, is it pronounced anemone or anemone? Okay, it just started raining, so I've had to cut my trip short, but I still had 2 hours or so there, and I got quite a lot done, and I just need to figure out where I'm going to plant everything because I've got less space than I originally thought, so I've got to be really clever about my planting and stop buying so many. And, well, maybe, we'll see. So it's back home now, back home to the dog and a roast chicken dinner. Look at the chits on this Aran Pilot. All of them have got big chits. They look like they're ready to be planted, but some people say do it and some people say wait. I just don't know what to do. Wonder what Monty would say. I say go for it, Jen. Wonder what Alan would say. Biscuits! Well, I think it's cleared it up. I think I'm going to plant them this week. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Okay, so I've come down after work on this beautiful day to do my potatoes. So I've got my manure and compost mix already in my wheelbarrow, if you can hear there. My watering cans are full. I've got blood, fish and bone, my spade, my rake, my potatoes. So I'll see how I get on. Don't know if you can see that, but I've dug my trench. So I'll go and get my... Well, no, I'm going to put some manure and compost in it next. Potatoes. Massive chit potatoes. So. 3. Okay, they're all manured, composted and blood, fish and boned and watered. So I'm now going to rake the top back over and then do my second pile. I'm going to cover it with fleece as well because I saw Jazz do it last week and I thought, yeah, I'll get some of that. I'll get in on that fleece. So yeah, there you go, potatoes done. There you are, I've made a kind of a mound. That's what you're meant to do, right?
Here are my broad bean plants. I'm going to put them out in the outside mini greenhouse. So you can see some of the roots are starting to come through the actual tubes. Also getting a little bit of mould as well, so
I think that would be best for them to go outside. The biggest strawberry in the world, but we didn't grow it. See, in my little outdoor greenhouse, it looks like I've got one of my tulips coming up. Got this one here peeping through. This is one of my perennial tulips. Here are some in this other little tub. This is my Secret Santa tub, my Secret Santa tulips. So I don't know what they'll be, what colour or anything. My overwintering onions that were supposed to be overwintering, but I only recently put them in, they look like they are sprouting more than they were already. I'm really excited. This is my garlic that I planted about a month ago, and it's actually starting to sprout. This is my Solent white garlic that was in the shed left over, and it's sprouting. Hello garlic. I'm actually too excited about this. I'm really excited. Oh, please grow. Please grow. So in this bag I've got a mix of last year's compost with some potato fertiliser and a bit of vermiculite to retain some of the moisture, and a bit of perlite for aeration. And I'm going to put in some worm cast as well when I put the potatoes in. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put some comfrey pellets in each hole. So I'm just going to take a handful like this, and I'm going to put just sort of half of that in two little spots inside here. And cover them up with a bit of soil. And then I'm going to put these two potatoes on top of those, so the comfrey's underneath them, with the chips facing upwards, these bits facing up. So here they are. And then on top of this I'm just going to put some more compost, but I'll put some worm cast just around these bits here first. So here's the worm cast, and I'm just going to sprinkle that around these potatoes before I cover them up. Apparently you can't overdo the worm cast, so I'll put a good couple of handfuls in, handful around each one really. And then I'm just going to cover them up now with some more compost. I'm going to leave a fair gap at the top, so when they come through I'll earth them up with fresh compost, new compost. Because I've used spent compost in here, I'll top it up with fresh. Give it a nice drink. I'm going to do a little experiment. These are all spent compost. So in this one I'm going to mix in just vermiculite, this one just perlite, and this one both. And I'm going to put rock dust in all three, and I'm also going to put some potato fertiliser in all three. And then I'll just mix them. Then I'm going to put some potato fertiliser in each one. And then some rock dust in each one. Mix it all around. So I've finished these 3 now, and I've done one here. This is kind of a tester with no vermiculite or perlite, so it's just got the rock dust and the potato feed in there, and I'm going to have the same make of potatoes in each one. I'm going to probably put all of my Orla potatoes in here and see how that little test works out. That'll be a nice jacket potato for the garden nymphs. Kath's just going to cut off the central spear of the purple sprouting broccoli. Hopefully that should, if Kath can get her head out of the way, hopefully that should encourage growth of the other shoots below. Can anybody say what's wrong with this broccoli? All the leaves are kind of, well, sort of going a bit strange. And also, what's happening here with this? I don't know what that is in there. We're just tying the leaves around the head of these cauliflowers because they're starting to get a bit damaged by the rain and things like that. They're starting to look a little bit worse for wear. I found quite a few ladybirds hiding around the garden, so let's hope that they're going to help us next year with feeding on some of the bugs.